Hey guys, so my name is Kerry and I'm a Jamaican living in Japan. When I first came to Japan, I started as a jet teacher. Thankfully, I was able to transition to something that's even better. However, if you're planning to start your teaching career in Japan, jet is the best way for you to start. In this video, you're going to hear from real life current jets, and they're going to tell you about some of the things that you can use in your interview to ensure that you're very successful in your jet application process. These are some tips that you can use, and hopefully they will give you an advantage. So stick and stay. Hi, so we have our girl Lauren over here. Lauren, she's a jet, she's from America. Lauren, just tell us a little bit about yourself. For example, how long you've been in Japan.
Hello, I'm Lauren. I'm from New York and I've been in Japan for almost a year now.
So you're fresh.
Yes.
Yeah. What has been the highlight so far of your jet experience?
There's been so many. I think Japan has really amazing food. So I like trying new food in Japan. And I've made a lot of really good friends and gotten to travel a lot. So those have all been really good highlights.
Is this your first time in Japan?
Yes, this was. Moving here was my first time.
Why Japan? Why did you come?
Honestly, I think it was a little bit by chance. I like teaching and I was interested in doing something related to teaching. And I've lived abroad before in another country and I wanted to have that kind of experience again. And the JET program seemed like a good way to try that. And so I ended up here.
Yeah, I think you're one of the best jets, one of the best persons to come to Japan. You're certainly one of the smartest people I know. All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your jet experience so far? Because it's still fresh, new to an extent.
I give it like a solid 8.5. Yeah.
Okay, all right. 8.5. Do you think that could improve with time?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's definitely the culture shock graph. So I feel like there's times where it seems better and times when it seems worse.
Yeah, and it could also go down as well.
It could be all downhill from here.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So I just wanted to know, because I think especially in November, a lot of people will be applying for the JET program, and it's quite competitive, especially for Americans. Do you have an idea how many people from the state apply for JET?
I don't know the exact numbers.
How about your state? Do you know state-wise?
Oh man, there were a lot of people that flew out of the New York embassy. Like at least 100. I think.
At least 100.
I don't know how many people specifically apply, but I think usually they accept about a quarter of people who apply.
Is your impression of it, it's very competitive, or it was like slam dunk, it was easy for you to get in?
I think it's definitely competitive. I was surprised when I got in. I didn't think I would.
Yeah. Well, of course, I think you got in by your own merit, because I said before, but I'd like to just brag on you that she's also an Ivy Leaguer. And I mentioned that. Where are you from? Which school are you from?
I went to Cornell.
You think that helped you getting onto the program?
Yeah, I think so. I think that Japan is a credential-focused country, so I would imagine that they liked the fact that I went to Cornell.
Yeah. Quite a few teachers here are from Ivy Leagues. So I just wanted to know also, like, what was the process like for you? Because you did say it's competitive. Like when you went into the interview, clearly your college alone wasn't the only factor.
Yeah.
So like, how did you sell yourself? What were the points that you emphasized, or the skills that you sold for them to actually consider you as a good candidate?
I think for me specifically, I think people get in for lots of reasons, but I feel like if I had to guess what they liked about my application, I really tried to emphasize that I've adapted to foreign countries before and understand the challenges. And I think I made a good case for the fact that I would be able to do well here. Even if I don't think I had as strong of a reason for why I came to Japan as some other people might have. I think I really showed them ways that I have adapted to uncertainty and enjoyed being challenged. And I also really tried to play up my experience teaching, because I had experience in college doing that. and my ability to listen and try to understand people who are different from me. So I think those are the things that they probably liked.
So you definitely gave them the impression that you'd be able to assimilate if you came.
Yeah, I think so.
And you would add value to Japan in that way. All right, very good. I think a lot of people assume that you have to have like exceptional Japanese to get into the program. What has your experience been?
My Japanese when I applied was non-existent. It's a little better now, but I'm really horrible at Japanese.
Yeah.
It definitely helps, and I think it shows, if you do have it, that there's a reason why you're applying and that you have an interest in Japan, but you don't need it.
Okay.
I didn't have it.
Okay, that's great. So you heard it from Lauren. All right, Lauren, last question. How long do you think you'll be here?
I recontracted for another year. I think that will be my final year.
Year.
When I leave, I will have been here for 2 years.
Okay, thank you. I hope that you'll enjoy the rest of your stay in Japan.
Thanks, Carrie.
All right, and that's it. Thank you so much. Good job.
Bye.
Good job. All right, bye. This is my chica, Esty the bestie. Hi, Esty. Oh, she has so much swag and flavor. All right, tell us about Jet. Like, I want to ask you, like, if you were to rate your Jet experience on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it?
Okay, I would say 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10.
Wow, that's a high score.
Hey, I really loved it.
Oh, why are we feeling this way?
Maybe, well, I am leaving, so obviously everything is very every bright and shiny at the end. But I think it was really good. I've had a lot of jobs with like really terrible managers, and I feel like on the JED program it's very chilled, very easygoing, very nice. You have like freedom and creativity. You get to work with kids. So I very, very highly rate it. But I was lucky to have a nice school and a nice supervisor, a nice team.
Yeah, I think that makes a big difference for real. Every situation is always different on JED.
Definitely. So I'm pretty happy with my one.
Okay. Tell me about the process of getting onto JED. Like, was it difficult for you?
I applied. The first time I applied, I got rejected.
No way.
It was not great. And then I was kind of like, oh, I gave up. But then I applied again in the pandemic because I was like, oh, well, we need to live now.
What do you think made the difference that second time around?
I think the first time, maybe in my essay, I was too focused on like why I want to come to Japan.
So more like me.
Yes. And the second time, I was more like, oh, what I can do, what I bring to the table, and how that relates.
What you bring to the table? You are the table, girl.
Exactly. Let's go. I will bring the table.
But
that helped. Yeah. So having a good essay, I think, was a good thing. And I studied a little bit more Japanese, and I had visited Japan as well. So I think if it's like a point system or something, I gained a lot of points in the meantime.
The first time that you had applied, you had not visited Japan then?
I've not visited Japan. I haven't studied any Japanese. Yeah, so I think the second time around it was a bit stronger. But you don't need to necessarily have all those things.
I know it's been a while because you stayed here for 2 years. But do you remember like what were some of the selling points or some of the things that you
that I said
that you focused on?
I think I focused on like the experience that I had and how that would help me be like a good teacher, but also like a good person for cultural exchange. So I also talked about like I studied journalism, so I feel like I could still write and post on Instagram and like do a lot of things. So I think those kind of things. So kind of looking at your unique characteristics and what you can do, because I think also the program wants you to be a good ambassador for them, but also for your country and Japan relationships. So I guess the embassy is also kind of looking for that.
I think you have a good solid point there. So you think like not just saying how you'd like Japan to add value to your life, but how can you add value to the context that you'll be in?
Yes, like how you would make a good ambassador for the program and for your country, and how you could really, really add a lot of value. I think that's what happened. But I don't know. I still feel like I would have been a good candidate the first time around too.
Yeah.
They could have just accepted me.
Yeah. It might also depend on who's interviewing you at the time.
Yes, yeah, that's true. I didn't even make it to the interview stage. Yeah, they didn't even interview me.
Oh my goodness.
Application just wasn't accepted. And my friend Robin too. We both got rejected.
Wow.
And then we applied the second time. We both got into the interview and got in and came to Japan.
Would you say it's very competitive, the process?
I think it depends because they don't give you like a number of how many people they accept.
Oh.
So you're kind of like, it could be a lot or it could be a little, and they don't necessarily give you the criteria.
Oh,
So,
so you didn't know how many people got accepted the year that you did? Because when I had applied, when I got accepted, that year was the biggest year actually cohort that I had.
So how many people?
Like 34.
Oh,
and
that's
like,
not a lot, eh?
yeah,
That's not a lot.
not a lot. And like a lot of people had applied.
This year, I think it's only 44 South Africans, but I don't know how many people applied versus how many people are actually coming.
Yeah. If you could redo JET, what would you focus on? Like, what differences would you apply or?
Well, I would definitely study Japanese a lot harder and not give up. Try to do my like Japanese test, try to be like level 4 or 3. I also think with my apartment, I got like a new Leo Palace apartment. Getting maybe like an older, cheaper apartment would have been better. But also, I do think some things I did right that I think were good ideas was like joining communities. I started doing karate, which was really nice to meet some nice people and to have like a real experience where I get to hang out with local people. And also, I met some like photographers in Tokyo through a meetup, which was so good. I feel like that was really, really great. I'm so grateful that I did that.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
And there was one time also someone asked for people to do a presentation on their country, and I offered to do one, and it was really intense. It was like a 2-hour-long presentation. But from that presentation, I made like 2 or 3 friends that I could do things with, that would invite me to things. It was really nice. So it was very sweet. So I do think to say yes to opportunities like that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Broaden your horizons and like.
Definitely. I think it's important to make some Japanese friends if you can.
Yeah, that's good too.
People in your area, like find your city hall, ask them questions, like make sure they know who you are. Do some Japanese lessons at your local city hall. It's free, or it's like 200 yen, so it's very affordable.
Yeah. So you had a good time.
I had a great time. Yes.
Why are you leaving then? Tell us.
Exactly.
If it's so great, you wouldn't be leaving.
I know. Well, I think it's with my friends and family really back home. And I am a bit older, so I do feel like it is a bit different. Like I think the time is ticking.
Time is ticking. I think that's a decision that a lot of jets grapple with each year
yes,
to recontract or not to recontract.
Initially I thought I'd just stay for 1 year, and I'm really glad I stayed for 2.
Why?
I think 1 year would have, the year just flew by. Like after like 6 months, I was like, I haven't even done anything because I was trying to save money, I was trying to see things, I was trying to do too much, and a year was just not enough. I'm very glad that I stayed for 2 because I got to do more, I got to save more. Although saving is very difficult here because you want to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I'm glad I stayed for 2 years. I feel like it was a good time. And I think it's still short enough for me to like really love and enjoy the job. I don't feel like I got bored or got tired or over it.
When do you think it's the time to leave? All right, thank you so much, Esti, for sharing your experiences. Sensei, I have a quick interview for you. Sensei, I have a question. For Jets who are hopeful to come to Japan, what do you think schools are looking for? What skills or attributes you think would be meaningful? So if somebody were to apply, you think schools are looking for this, so I think they should actually promote or emphasize those skills.
The skills
Yes.
you want for AUT?
Yes.
Okay. I want those people to encourage students to learn more about the world and about English.
What kind of personality do you think works well or best with Jet?
Friendly,
Enthusiastic.
enthusiastic,
Yes.
and genki.
Genki. Okay. Very nice. Anything else? It's like me. That's it.
And try to communicate with teachers.
With yes, and sharing culture and like very good. Yeah. Thank you, Sensei. Bye. All right, let's go. Ikimashou. Hey, so we have over here Mariko. All right, she's another jet at this school, and then Mariko is lovely, and I want her to tell us about her experience so far in jet. But first, tell me about yourself, just quickly.
So I'm from the US, a jet from the US. So I came here 2 years ago, and I don't know, what else should I say about myself?
On a scale of 1 to 10, like how would you rate your experience in Japan so far?
Probably probably like an 8 or a 9. I
Yeah.
think overall it's been really great. There's obviously some struggles along the way, but overall I think mostly good stuff.
Okay, good. Good. Mariko's leaving. Is that why you're leaving? The
The one point of bad stuff.
That's great. All right. So Mariko's of course also I wanted to ask because you're something about your background. So you're half and half. So could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm half Japanese, half white American. So that's kind of the reason I wanted to come to Japan, was being half Japanese and just wanting to learn more deeply about Japanese culture, Japanese language.
So it's not your first time
So I visited Japan before in the past, yes.
but it's your first time living in Japan.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Your mom is from Japan, you said?
She's Japanese American. Her parents are so my grandparents are from Japan.
Okay, so that's why you were interested. That's good. A good story. So tell us, do you think your background affected your chances or impacted your chances getting into JET?
It's hard to say. I think it definitely helps because then they understand why I'm interested in Japan. They did actually ask me in my interview, like, don't you think you're too close to Japan? They're like, why do you want to come to Japan if you're already Japanese? But when I explained my reason why, like, because I've always lived in America and I wanted to learn more about Japanese culture, like, I think that made it make more sense to them.
Yeah.
Like, they kind of, I think in their minds were thinking, this girl already must know so much about Japan. So I think explaining that reasoning maybe made it make more sense to them. So it shows that I was interested in Japan, but still had a reason.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Good. Most Jets are from America. How much, like, I don't know about Philadelphia, because you're from Pennsylvania. Are a lot of Jets from Pennsylvania as well?
I honestly don't know.
You don't know?
There's not a Japanese embassy in Philadelphia, so I think most Jets apply for either the New York or Washington D.C. one. I actually went through Boston because that was closest to my school. So I'm not sure how many people are really from Pennsylvania.
Okay, that's fair enough. If you were to, like, recommend, because in November, October, November, a lot of people will be applying for Jets. In your impression, what do you think they're looking for? Or what made it like what are some factors they'd consider to choose? Because in my opinion, I think it's really competitive, especially for Americans. So what do you think? How can you sell yourself? What are they looking for?
I think one, definitely an interest in Japan. I think a lot of people get interested in Japan maybe because of the usual, like, anime and manga, which is fine. But I think also expressing interest in some aspect of culture or language further beyond that, just to show a bit deeper interest. And then two, I also think, like, just a lot of enthusiasm about working with kids or, like, teaching, or some aspect of, like, actually being interested in the teaching as well, because they don't want someone who's just going to kind of slack off at their job so they can travel around Japan all the time. So just showing also some enthusiasm for the teaching aspect of the job as well.
That's good. If you were to redo JET, would you still make the decision to come?
Of course.
Of course.
Definitely.
Very good. I also wanted, because I asked Lawrence, I'm going to ask you, because I mentioned that there are quite, three of you are Ivy Leaguers. Do you think that impacted your ability to get into the program?
I don't know. I mean, I think probably it does help with most situations. I don't know with this situation specifically, just because it's more about just being, like, a native speaker. Like, it's not necessarily about your training or anything. So I do think it, like, you can go to any school and still get into JET. Like, I don't think you should feel like, oh, there's lots of Ivy Leaguers applying, so I'm not gonna get in. Like, I don't think it plays, like, that big a role.
I don't think, I think maybe to get noticed, at least the shortlisting process, but at the end of the day, when you get shortlisted and you attend the interview,
like, definitely, if even if you go to a good school and if you're like super uninterested in the interview, like they're not gonna
Yeah.
accept you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. You did well. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.
And there you have it, guys. So those are some wonderful tips that you can employ when you're interviewing, when you're applying for the JET program. I hope that you found them helpful. If I were to recommend an additional tip, it would be for you to just be yourself, be charismatic when you go to your interviews, be creative. I know that you might go, when you go into the process, you'll see people studying Japanese, you might feel intimidated. Don't be. Just show a genuine interest in the culture and a willingness to adapt, to be resilient, to be flexible, and just try to shine. I think you've got this in the bag. Just trust yourself and the process. So that's my tip as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you found this video very helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe and share, and leave a comment in the comment section. I'll try my very best to respond to them. Until the next video, guys. Bye bye bye.